Hello, my beautiful friends. I hope you're doing great. Let me show you atmospheric watercolor paintings. How many of you heard about this actually? Because I've only came across this recently. Honestly, I'm terrible at it, but I just loved the process so much. And I have been trying and trying different colors, trying different ways, how much water, how much pressure and everything. And honestly, I loved it so very much that I thought I'm gonna actually come here just quickly show you how I'm doing it, and we could just be inspired by each other's company today. Because I couldn't find my liquid watercolors in the studio, I figured I'm gonna use these inks. These are calligraphy inks for fountain pen, and I figured this must be water-based, so it's like watercolor. No, liquid watercolor. I thought I'm gonna test it out. We've opened these inks in December advent calendar. It's a Diamine brand. We loved it. The colors were fantastic. But if you don't have any of a liquid form, that's okay. We will be testing these gouaches. This is watercolor paint. We're gonna spray tons, like I'm talking tons of water in them, and we're gonna create the liquid inside of these half pans. And I hope we're gonna work it out and try this technique with these watercolors as well. So any liquid that you have, use it out, but if you don't, that's okay. I'm gonna show you one of these. This one was just one quick trial with the gouaches, so it is possible. This is much stronger, but this is the watercolor gouaches, so we will try it out both. I hope you will join me. I hope you will try it out. I tell you one super important thing. It is the fun part of this. Now, in all my trials that I've done, first of all, this is watercolor paper. This is watercolor paper cards as well. So all of the paper that I'm working, it's gonna be watercolor. Now, I have used this smaller brush for the water effect, but now I have the bigger one already because I think, and I didn't test it out, not even once, how it's gonna work. But I do believe it could be slightly better. I have two big containers. One is to rinse and clean off, and the other one is for the just clean water that we will need, I hope. And I also have plenty of these little jars filled with water and also tiny brushes, because I figured that I will definitely be dipping in, instead of a syringe, which I tried and just wasn't working, instead of syringe I will be using small brushes. So get yourself water, brushes, more water, some containers, and you're gonna be just fine. And also some paper, possibly, that would be great. And look at the tissues. When I was cleaning my desk, we will be using them somewhere in my art, because these are absolutely gorgeousness, especially after inks. You can see the actual dyeing, how they mixed up together. So I also have just plain paper just to clean it off, and that's it. We're gonna try it out. Basically, the idea for it is to kind of make a line with the different colors and hope for the beautiful movement to happen. Honestly, I love the process so very much. I mean, so very much. Do you know what? I'm gonna swap for this paper. This one is a different one, and if you're asking me, this one is cold press, 300 grams. I barely have anything left, so honestly I don't know how many trials we're gonna have. So cold press, good quality paper would be great. We can actually compare these two and see how good or bad this is gonna turn. Let me just start off with, what color, Marta? What color? I think I'm gonna grab, I have all these colors here. I think I'm gonna grab this purpley color. I think so. Get ready for a little bit of a mess on your desk, because there is gonna be a lot of water happening. Now I have to say that I totally loved some quick videos online that I've seen people doing it, and I've done that with do you remember ages ago I've done something of this sort with magicals, I think. Do you remember, any of you? How many of you remember the magicals? This was actually so much fun a few years back, I have to say. And I'm putting my clean brush, my dirty brush in the water, and my clean brush here. I'm grabbing a new clean brush. So Do you know what? I'm not waiting too long because the thing is that this will soak in. So let's just try it out. Let's see. Oh wow. Oh, certainly a bigger amount of water, bigger brush makes a way better. Oh wow, a way better effect. I love this now. I can probably move a little bit even more and make this more dramatic, I guess. Wow, I love this. Now you see I was using the smaller brush. I can show. Oh, look at that. How phenomenal that is. I have been using the smaller brush, which was this one, so we can see the size difference. It's huge difference. Now try it out depending. I love that. I'm sorry. I just love it so much. Do you know what my next step would be to learn how to maybe doodle around it, just to do something about it, and just to use these actual little works of art, because it would be just a shame to leave it out. But I'm gonna put this aside just to dry on its own, and we can move on to the actual page, maybe number 2. How is that? And let's use the other paper, the older sort of looking paper. It's just weirdly different, and that's okay. I think that's perfectly fine. Now I'm gonna rinse off, clean off, and use will I use the same colors? No, possibly no. Let's make a different color. I like this one, maybe that's kind of pinkishy color. I think we can certainly try it out. Now I'm adding a generous, like a genuinely generous amount of pigment of this watercolor in it, so it's quite a statement, I would say. Now I'm looking at which colors else I can add, and I'm doing 2 lines. I think it's just easier for them to have the actual movement on top and the bottom, but you can try, I guess, both ways. I think it doesn't matter. I'm trying to figure out which color. I think I'm gonna jump in for some bit of yellow. If you're not familiar with this technique, as I wasn't and I'm still learning, please just promise me to try it out, because it's just phenomenal thing. It is so relaxing, it is so much fun, it is so beautiful that you will just fall in love as I did. I promise you. You just have to try it out. Now let's not wait any longer. Let's just grab the actual brush. A generous amount of water, I have to say, goes in here. And wow, look at this one. And let's just dive in. Let's just have this happening. Wow. Now that is something. That is just amazing. Wow. I love it. Now I have not touched here, which wouldn't that be nice to just have it a little bit of a play. Oh my, look at this. It's atmospheric, isn't it? I think it's gorgeous. I love the actual, oh yeah, we need some clean water for sure. That's why we need second container. I really certainly love the mixture of these colors. I love this one. And the problem with me is that I don't know which I use, but I think I have used this one. I love these. I think I've used this one, and I think that's it. Is it? I think these two are quite interesting to. I think I'm gonna use this one. Look at it. Now let's leave it to dry. Let's see what will happen, and let's move on then to the next one, because you know it's just always so interesting to see the effects, and I think this is phenomenal. Like I really, oh, look at it. Like even moving this, if you fancy a little bit of a movement, depending of your, I guess, depending on your likings and what would you like to see and all, maybe you can move it around. Problem is with the actual storing where to, I love this. I mean, seriously, when this will dry, I'm gonna make another video how to actually doodle on that, and we do a little bit of, yeah, painting with doodles. I think would be fantastic. I'm gonna put this on the ground, on the flat surface, if you can hear me, and I'm gonna test these two, because I think these two are gonna be phenomenal together. What I was saying, oh yes, I think the whole idea of this actual process is just so good, so satisfying. It is really phenomenal. I really would love you to try it out genuinely. So whatever you have your supplies, if you have inks, if you have alcohol inks, try it out. I'm not saying it's gonna work out. I'm saying try it out, you know. Now, let's do that. Wow, I think it depends on the paper as well. I really think so. I really think so that it's really important of the actual pigment and also the paper. What's the actual paper in there? But look, give it a chance, give it a time. Even all sorts of, imagine this, all this, wow. I mean, this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. I love this. I really love this. Sorry for the extra noises. I'm trying to be a little bit Speedy Gonzales here because honestly, I don't know which direction all these drips are going, and I just wish to catch it in the right time and all. I love it. I think, do you know what? We can even try it out to be a little bit more. There we go. A little bit of courageous and just try it out. Some kind of movement happening. Sure, why not? What's the worst can happen? I keep on saying that the worst will be that just you may not love it, but you may actually love it. So why not to give it a chance and see what will happen, you know? And add even more water. Just give it a play. Give it a play. Wow, I love that it's like woods nearly, some sort of trees. Imagine it. I guess we need a big imagination, right? If it's too much water, if it's really dripping, like wash it away, clean it off. That's okay too. But please promise me to try. Look at it. It is fantastic. I love this. I love this, and we added the dark one later on. I love it. We have 3 amazing looking pages, completely different. I think this is gonna be my favorite, although it was not right this moment. It is. Wow, I'm gonna put it aside. Wow, I love that. Now, and let me just actually get the paper number last. No way, I really have no watercolor paper pages left here. But you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna be doing some collage on this backing very soon. So keep those backings of your papers because for the collages it's fantastic actually. So we're gonna use this one. Watercolor papers, it's quite expensive, let's be honest. Try Arteza one. I don't have here because I've finished them all. I always finish them first. Try the Arteza link, please. And also, let's have a look now. Let's try it out. The actual, whoops, the actual watercolors gouaches. How good it's gonna be. Now, instead of spraying everywhere, let's focus on this color, black as well. This one. How about maybe also this one and this one? Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. So we need to sort of mix it up, make enough of the pigment kind of thing. Yes, it's tons of water now. Okay, same for this one. Let's make this very pigmented. Yeah, it has to be liquidy, pigmented and all. So we have this. We need a little bit of more pigment in the black actually. There we go. Black, brownish this. And how about a bit of a green? And this one seems to be like a very pretty one. So I have hopes that it's gonna be fantastic with your watercolors. So please, please, let's hope it's gonna be that. We may need even more water, and that's okay too. So let's go. We have to rush, guys, because we need to make sure that it's not gonna soak in too much in it. Like, well, it will, but maybe not as much. And maybe keep on adding the color, keep on adding the water as well. So I'm starting with the green. Well, the surface is big and it's faster if the pigment is already there, like the watercolor pigment, let's say. It will be so much easier. But I'm actually very excited for this one now. I'm really excited to see which direction this is gonna take in us, because it is actually quite exciting to figure it out. My only worry is that with this, because it's so much difficult to move the pigment towards the page, for the page, that we might end up with a little bit of not enough pigment. Not that the paints are not pigmented. There's maybe little time sort of thing, you know, to do that. But let's try. Let's see. I think we kind of have to do it now. So let's try it out. I have plenty of water here happening. Oh, look at it. It's gorgeous. It is actually gorgeous. Now. Oh, I love that. I love that. So it's not that you can't do it. You absolutely can. Look at it. And if you fancy a little bit more more watercolors to be added, go for it. Look, jump in with more water, jump in with more pigment. Let's just have a chance. Oh, I love this. I absolutely love this. Now, I do think that it would be phenomenal to have a little bit of this kind of play there. Look at that. Now, I love this paper, I have to say. This one is fantastic. It's called Watercolor Artist Pad. This one is 190 grams, but there's this texture in it, which I really, truly enjoy seeing. So that's fantastic. Now, question is, we could technically add something else if you fancy any other color and have a little bit of a play here and there. I think it's great. I really think it's great to just have a little bit of fun and just try your supplies. I guess that's what I wish to tell you. Just try out your supplies, you know. Fancy a little bit of spritzing with water? Absolutely. If you don't have any move, you can just see how this could be. And look, it's like, wow, I love it. Totally love it. You can turn it around, create whatever you love, depending on what's your plan for, if you will be doodling or not next doodle. But I really, really, really love it. I have to say, I've been having my desk filled with these inks in general and paints for the past 2 days, and I was like, I just have to come back here to you, make a YouTube video. Let's just create together, just have fun together, because it is so pretty and you can do so much with it afterwards. I think you can just try it out, you can experiment. I just love the idea of it. I just enjoyed it completely. So wow. Oh, you have to see this one. Now this one is the first one. It's beautiful. Imagine, depending on the color that you're gonna choose. I'm gonna show you the other one, which is my favorite. I love this one. I love the colors, the combination. I think it was these two. So a gray, it was actually a gray and a yellow, but look at the colors that appeared later on with these inks as well. And look at this one. It's on my ground still, therefore I have to go lean for it. And this is gorgeous as well. It's very dramatic, isn't it? So which is your favorite? But I'm guessing this one is phenomenal. I love the color, the shading. I love how everything blends in, and it's not that obvious. You can actually really do something in doodling here, and I promise you. Same for this one. My two absolute favorites. As you can see, one is with inks, one is with watercolors. Perfectly. Get yourself some Arteza paints. You will totally love them. They are actually coming in these little tubes. I have little tubes, and I have these, my favorite gouaches, 60 pieces. You put them in the pan, get yourself a half pans. All the links to Arteza and the coupon code is also in the description box, so please check it out, because I promise you, you will totally love. And all my Christmas cards have been done with Arteza watercolors, so with gouaches, so please check them out for yourself. And the watercolor books are back as well, just if you're wondering. These books, I'll show you these books because you've been loving them, waiting for them. So USA friends, these books are back, 2 pieces in one set to be purchased. So I'm gonna wrap up at that. Let me know, how do you like the actual atmospheric watercolor painting? Atmospheric painting, it is atmospheric, very dramatic. You can see some scenery happening, and I will be more than happy to doodle on it. What's your thoughts? Let me know. I'm gonna definitely check out more of these experiments, try it out, what else I can do, maybe move it with the dryer as well and create some movement. And I don't know, I feel that even cutting this in smaller pieces for art journaling could be just fantastic. So we will be actually testing this out very, very soon. I'm gonna let you go now. I love you, but I have to go. Till the next time, happy painting, and I'll chat to you very, very soon. I love you. Bye bye.